Hey guys, today's quick video is about a couple of Shirogorov clones or lookalikes that I have. Um, First of all, let me say that I just love the style of Shirogorov. I love their knives, and I know that I'll never be able to afford one to begin with, and I don't even understand how people are able to spend this kind of money on knives anyway. But I love their styles and their designs, right? So you know, liking them, one way to get them is the clones and lookalikes. So let's start. So this one is I'm not gonna really call it a clone, but more like a lookalike of the 111 model. And I say lookalike because the real one doesn't come in a frame lock. It's an axis lock, if I remember correctly. But the overall shape is the same if we look from this view here. Very nice knife, quite heavy. There's no, let me see, no, oh no, there is some milling done on the scales, but it is some very thick slabs of titanium, hence the weight. The blade is quite long as well, close to 10 centimeters. There's a blood groove or fuller here, but it's mostly decorative. You can't really exercise it. Like the detent is just too hard to be able to use it in that way. Action is very good. The detent is quite strong, so you need to put your, you need to have some will to be able to open it. It's fairly smooth, not the smoothest knife I have, but surely smooth enough. Steel is D2 steel, came perfectly centered, or if it didn't, like I took this knife apart. Oh yeah, I took this knife apart to clean it inside and then to Loctite the pivot because it was coming loose once in a while. Very nice. And so actually on this knife, story about this is I wanted to try some anodizing first time in titanium. At first I wanted to anodize the whole knife. I was thinking about getting, anodize it in a bronze color. I thought it would have looked cool on that. When I started, I said, okay, let me start with the pocket clip. And while the bronze, I was aiming for the bronze, but the color came quite fast, and then I settled for a blue. It's kind of bluish, purplish kind of color, and I was like, okay, that's cool enough. I was happy about that. Then I decided to start with the back spacer, and that didn't work at all. And I did nothing different, and the back spacer is not magnetic, so the only thing that comes to my mind is like this piece here might not be titanium and it's probably aluminum. During the process, like there was bubbles all over the place, but nothing, this piece didn't change color, so my guess is this is aluminum, and that's why the process is different. So since I couldn't get the back spacer, I wanted to get the back spacer the same color as the pocket clip. I couldn't, then I stopped there, and I mean it's fine, whatever. The knife is silver, the pocket clip is blue. That's fine. So overall, nice knife, not the smoothest, but smooth enough, and can't really be called a clone, I guess, because there's no such thing as a frame lock 111. Okay, another one that I got, and you've seen this one before. I've done a review a while back of the cheap version with steel liners and G10 scale. And if you remember, I like this knife so much that I think I mentioned at the time that I was thinking about getting like the more expensive version, which I did. The problem with this one, I wanted the green Thorn version, and the reason I wanted them is because I got those before this one, and I'm really impressed with the quality of this one, of these two. And I don't know, like either they stopped producing it, or like, I mean, some people on DHgate and AliExpress, some say yes, we have it, some we don't. Anyway, long story short, I ended up ordering a first one, with which is this one actually, which had problems. Like the detent was extremely weak. Like I would barely touch the blade here, like the blade will come out. Lock stick, heavy lock stick like crazy. Blade not center. When I opened it, there was a steel washer inside that was missing. Anyway, I had to battle with the AliExpress seller. He gave me a discount on the knife, sent me the washer. So what I ended up doing as well is like Basically the detent was so weak because, well, we can't really see it, but the detent hole here was so small that the ball wouldn't go inside. So with a Dremel tool and a diamond bit, I made the hole a little bit larger. I mean, I guess if I would shake it hard enough, it would come out. But now the detent is a bit better. Not as strong as other ones that I have, but quite nice. Lock stick. For the lock stick, I tried a whole bunch of different methods. I tried the graphite. I tried the, how you call it, like sanding, or basically like polishing both the lock bar and the place on the blade with the, how you call it, with the strobe, like I've seen Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge doing. It didn't work. I tried sanding with 1000 grit sandpaper. It didn't work. I even sorry, I even went with like 400 grit sandpaper. It didn't help. And then I came upon a video, I think from Nick Shabazz, where he recommends, and let me see if I can get it. He recommends getting antioxidant compound, sorry. So I mean, I was desperate, you know, like when I said there was lock stick, there was heavy lock stick every single time. Like the thing would snap every time I would open it, right? Like, what the heck, you know, let's go try it. I went to Home Depot, I got this one, and you know what, hold and behold, you know, there is still a little bit of lock stick, but nothing compared to what it used to be, and it's getting better, right? So I was quite surprised and happy to see this video. This actually is the only thing that worked. I tried the polishing. I even tried before this one metal polish. None of this worked, and this thing actually worked. Blade centering is quite good, and that's a shame that I had these problems here. The lockup is quite late as well. I would say about like 80 to 90%. So that's a shame that I had this problem, because like I really like the style of this knife, and or the other thing, like the titanium and the carbon fiber, the fit and finish is impeccable. But I had all these bunch of problems that now slowly are getting solved. So other than that, it's a really cool looking knife and very nice knife. Now the action is, you know, it's not the fastest I've handled, but it's more than acceptable. But I had to put some work into it. I got the metal washer, now it's fine. The blade is, you know, pretty much dead on now, and the lock stick is pretty much gone, so I'm quite happy. So the reason why I wanted the green Thorn version is because back in June I ordered these two knives. I went to visit my family member in the US, and I ordered these two knives when I went to visit. The problem is the seller at the time only had shipped this one. He had forgotten to include this one, so I've had this one for a good 6 months now, I guess, yeah. And I've EDC'd quite a bit. And now my family member that came to visit now for Christmas brought me this one that finally they had received. So the model is the most well-known model of Shirogorov, I guess, the F95, and this variant, the Hatti. This is probably the best knife. I mean, both of those I think were at the time around the $60 or $65 mark for each. I think now they grow maybe a little bit more, maybe around 70. Both have D2 steel. The action on these knives is just phenomenal. Of all the knives that I have, these two are the ones that have the detent dialed in at least the best to my liking. Not too strong, not too soft. You know, soft enough that you don't need too much force to activate it, but strong enough that as soon as you press it, the blade just comes flying out. And these knives are unbelievable smooth. Look at this. It's crazy smooth. They both this one I didn't open. I believe it's a single row ball bearing, or it might be dual row. This one for sure I opened it, and it's a dual row ball bearing. I opened it, I cleaned it and lubricated. This one I don't know. Yeah, I can't really tell. It might be a dual row as well. Both of them are made by Green Thorn, and both came like basically perfectly centered out of the factory. These knives are extremely light. This one, I believe it's something like 110 grams or something for such a long blade. I think it's a 95 centimeter blade. You know, it's extremely light, heavy milling done. Well, I don't know if you can see in my camera, but heavy milled inside, very smooth. And the same thing for the other one. So I mean, this is not like the luck of the draw, right? Like both of them came like this from the factory. And yeah, I mean, this is just a style of knife that I really like. If you remember my review that I did on the real steels, my favorite one is the Sea Eagle, which is, you know, very similar in terms of, you know, I guess overall shape and design to this one. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Here it is. Right, so very similar designs, right? So I mean, it's just a design that I really like. I don't know, and these two knives are very well executed. So that's it, guys. So that's the 4 Shirogorov clones or lookalikes or whatever you want to call them that I have. Yeah, I really like them. There are some. These two are some of my favorite knives for sure. This one I just like how different it is compared to other knives that I usually see, and this one is okay too, just quite much heavier than the rest of them, and not as smooth. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.